So last week I skipped my review of Hamster and Gretel because the next episode, episode 9, wasn't on Disney+. I forgot, I have access to YouTube TV. I just went there to watch episode 9, and I can also do 10, 11, I think 12 is also up there. So, this is going to be my review of Hamster and Gretel Season 2, Episode 9. 9A is in Who's in Charge, and 9B is Foods of Engagement. So to begin with, it's a rainy day, so they're all at home. Bailey's hanging out with Gretel, and they're bored, and so they decide to look at some of the old VHS tapes that Kevin brought up from the layout. Hamster knows what those are. He knows how to operate a VHS and what VHS tapes are. And he's like, I'm 3 years old. How do I know it and not you? Or something along those lines. Hamster generally has some of the best one-liners in the show. But they put in one movie which is basically, I think, intended to be a parody of all the teen movies where the teens are actually played by grown adults. And there's an old scientist from the 80s stuck in there because this is like Dr. Doofenshmirtz's style of pettiness and all that. But let's recap his backstory. He's a scientist working with electricity, and he wanted some pizza delivered, where he was apparently 6 feet outside of the pizza place's delivery radius. Instead of doing the logical thing of, asking a neighbor if the pizza could be delivered to their house instead, he decides to convert himself to electricity. At least when he names his device Belt, he knows that that's being a backronym, and that if accidentally naming something a boat or a moat without realizing that he's just renaming it just in a slightly different way. At least this guy, he recognizes that. But anyhow, he does successfully convert himself to energy so he could just, use the power lines to go to the pizza place instead of, driving, I guess? Again, this is Doofenshmirtz's level of pettiness. Well, anyhow, his cat accidentally traps him in a VHS tape by accidentally hitting the buttons on the remote. And he described that the cats back in the 80s were jokes. Cats haven't changed, and that's why we love them. So he gets trapped in this movie, and nobody since the 80s checked it out at the video rental store. It was that disliked, I guess. And so now, finally, he wants to go take revenge on VHS players. About that, Gretel reveals that VHS players don't exist anymore, video store players. Actually, no, video stores is what he wanted to take revenge on first, but yeah. And that they don't exist anymore, and that's true. Though I do remember going into Blockbuster and my town had a place called Family Video. I do remember that stuff. And then VHS players don't exist anymore. Excuse me! Excuse me! What is that? Yes, that's my VHS player. I have a VHS player. Do I use it? Not too often, but I do have it. Okay, let's get the camera back. But yes, I have a VHS player. I don't use it too often, but I have it because I have tapes that I may want to watch someday. But that's besides the point. Because of the progress of technology, we use VHS players stuff, and that derails this guy's plan. But was it Gretel or Bailey? One of them actually mentions the internet to him. And now he wants to go. Well, he was initially going to destroy the internet, but he decides he's going to make everyone forced to watch the movie that he was trapped in. Yeah. So they chase him around, trying to trap him in appliances as he's trying to find the internet. Somehow gets Bailey sucked in, and he's threatening, and all that. And Gretel decides to basically trick him. Like, okay, I'll show you where the internet is. He gets onto Gretel's computer, and she just uses drag and drop and drops him into a USB drive. Honestly, that was just a great way. And granted, he's trapped on the USB drive and all that, but he's in a slightly better movie now. He's in, basically, it's clearly a parody of Game of Thrones, but set in Italy. Yeah, so he has something better now, and at the end of the scene, and yeah, he's actually happier. He has a dragon. Well, it's not called a dragon because apparently Italian. And anyhow, he gets his pizza. So he's in a better movie, a better show to be stuck in. So that's something. And during all this, Kevin and his father are just playing a bunch of games. And part of it is because Kevin's father is feeling a little bit down that Kevin's beating him at the games. But it resolves when Kevin mentions that you taught me all these games, shows what a good teacher you are. And then the ending joke with that is that they gotta figure out now who's the best one teacher, and so basically the best teacher is gonna be whoever teaches the dog backgammon. And then Kevin's mother says, "Great, I can finally have a partner now," which implies that both Kevin and his father are not good at backgammon at all. But I do like the implication that they're not good at it, but somehow they'll teach the dog to play, and then Kevin's mother will finally have someone to play backgammon with. I just love that implication. But we need to talk about 9B as well, Rules of Engagement. The wiki says that the title could be a pun off the term Tools of Engagement, but I was thinking Rules of Engagement, which normally has to do with, war. Again, I don't really get how either of them fits with the episode. The food part kind of makes sense. They make some foolish assumptions that Lauren, the Destructress, has naturally given up her evil ways. She has. Oh, she's working at the store in the mall, living a normal teenage life. Makes sense. Granted, Kevin is suspicious. Meanwhile, Gretel is like, yeah, my superhero hunches are not going off. And that's because Lauren legitimately is dumb being evil. She has no interest in that. Of course, in trying to interrogate her without tipping her off so they know that she's a Destructress, it actually comes across like Kevin would be flirting with her. But I do want to say, when Lauren goes to the pretzel counter and asks basically the lady working there's opinion on that was actually a really good scene. I really loved the punchline. So basically like, I don't know. And so basically, go over and ask some questions about him. I'll watch and inform body language and all that. And apparently that lady has a master's in behavioral science. And she's working at pretzel stand. Underemployment. That's a really good joke. I have a bachelor's degree in history, and look at me, I'm doing YouTube. I'm not even doing history YouTube. But anyhow, doing all this, the fist puncher and then his cellmate, foot kicker, escaped from prison in the most awful way possible. Basically by high-fiving foot kicker into the prison wall that destroys it. They probably shouldn't put them on an outside wall, I'm just saying. Well, anyhow, apparently they escape and fist punchers go to get Lauren fired from her job. He's basically being a jealous brother. That's what he is now. And they cause havoc, and they'll stop thanks to Hamster, Gretel, and Lauren. Sure, might as well. She has powers, and it's her brother. And she also saves Kevin from being, slammed by a giant wheel of cheese. Yeah, you gotta watch the episode. And at first, though, during that fight, they thought that, she wasn't, dumb with evil because, she conveniently runs away when Fist Puncher and Foot Kicker arrive. So, yeah, it looks suspicious. And, of course, she doesn't have time to explain during the fight either. But thankfully, the things are resolved, and it seems like Kevin and Lauren actually have a moment. Granted, some misunderstandings involved, but I wonder. Who knows how that could develop or not develop? Who knows? And that covers a good chunk of the episode. We do find that foot kicker. Yeah, he got his powers from the aliens. He didn't realize he could just spin and he would gain a costume. He didn't realize that. Of course. Honestly, those are going to be the comedic villain duo, not the actual threat that wherever they're going to be building up to. So that's pretty much all I got for you today. Like I said, both are good episodes. I do think I like Who's in Charge a bit more. I felt like it was essentially a barter episode, but I just thought it was better constructed. I thought it had both had great jokes, but I do think Who's in Charge had some better jokes. Especially with basically Greta and Bailey having no clue at all what VHS tapes were. I even got Star Wars right here on VHS. In here. Okay, that's Star Trek, and I got more over there. Now I want you to watch my VHS tapes. Hamster and Gretel, you just made me nostalgic. Anyhow, that's where I'm going to end my review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.